In her first major address since her husband announced his candidacy, Melania winning over the convention crowd.
There will be good times and hard times and unexpected turns. It would not be a Trump contest without excitement and drama.
Part of her role to show Trump's softer side.
He's tough when he has to be, but he's also kind and fair and caring.
But this morning, the former model facing backlash for seeming to sound too much like another first lady.
You work hard for what you want in life.
You work hard for what you want in life.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
That you treat people with dignity and respect.
That you treat people with respect.
Critics claiming Melania lifted parts of Michelle Obama's 2008 speech at the Democratic National Convention. Trump standing by his wife, tweeting her speech and demeanor were absolutely incredible.
Now back to that Melania Trump speech. She says she wrote most of the speech, and overnight the campaign putting out this statement saying in writing her beautiful speech, Melania's team of writers took notes on her life's inspirations and in some instances included fragments that reflected her own thinking. Melania's immigrant experience and love for America shone through in her speech, which made it such a success. And as George mentioned at the top of this broadcast, Paul Manafort, the chairman of the Trump campaign, is denying that Melania Trump stole any section of her speech last night. Robin and George.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Let's talk about this now more with Matt Dowd and Donna Brazil. And Matt, let me begin with you. You've seen all the response from the Trump campaign now. I've spoken with a couple of their advisors overnight. They say, listen, this was 7 to 8% of the speech. This is going to blow over. She was a big hit last night. How big a deal is it? Is someone going to have to take the fall?
Well, it's interesting. She said in last night's speech that with any Trump affair or contest, there's excitement and drama. She added to it in the course and the aftermath of this. I mean, this is one of these things that it's going to be an intensity. It's going to be a problematic. It's going to make it look like the convention is already beginning to be mismanaged in the course of this. When Donald Trump needs to have a moment where he actually gets a bump from this convention, it's going to be problematic to get a bump from the convention. Though I think something else is going to happen tonight that we'll probably be talking about tomorrow morning in the course of this. It is a big problem.
Something that definitely will probably happen. So what do you think, Donna, the Democrats' response will be to Melania's speech?
Well, first of all, we want to applaud her. I mean, after all, Michelle Obama is adorable. She's phenomenal. And the fact that Melania would, take many of her words, some passages, 22 out of 26 words in at least 2. You know what? That's great. Lift the country up. I thought it was great. It was a positive speech.
How much irony is in your voice right now?
A lot. But
it's the highest form of flattery,
but
isn't it?
You know what? It was a positive speech. And she looked great. She sounded great. And the fact that she was inspired by Michelle Obama's example of 2008, you know what? Donald Trump may be inspired by President Obama of 2008 and take some of his words. Lift them up. Why not?
The hope is right there. So that you think basically they're going to be able to move beyond this at some point. Something else is going to come up. But break down overall what we saw over the course of the day yesterday. Did they do what they needed to do?
The thing we talked about, George, coming into this is can they be disciplined enough in the course of this week to get through one big message that the American public feels? Right now, after day one, they haven't been disciplined enough to do that in the course of this. I think it looks a bit mismanaged. And the thing that I was struck by more than anything last night is their number one, only real rising Republican star at the convention ended up speaking to basically an empty hall, Joni Ernst, the senator, and to not in out of prime time. That was a big problem.
So that was yesterday. Day 2 today. What do you expect?
A lot more acrimony, a lot of perhaps disgruntled delegates who will probably try to express themselves one more time when Mr. Trump's name is placed into nomination. A lot of red meat, more red meat than Outback Steakhouse, and who knows, we might get some, some joy out of this.
You know what I think for sure is happening today is they are scrubbing Donald Jr.'s speech and Tiffany Trump's speech today to make sure there's not a single word in there that somebody thinks could be plagiarized.
Most likely so. All right, you two. We'll hear from you both a little bit later.
A lot of joy here.
A lot of joy.
I love Michelle Obama.